ruling on the alleged double nomination of the Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima. That will happen today. The court is set to sit on that today.
Absolutely.
Then the second one is the arrival of planes for the national carrier Nigeria Air, and that was said 2 days ago by the Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika. So let's see how that goes. We should be expecting planes that would, of course, come with the green, white, green colors. Right. He said that's going to happen with the full colors of the country. But other things as regards the commissioning and the rest would happen, especially of the, I think it's called Airport Village, yeah, it's going to be commissioned by the next administration. But let's see what the papers are reporting today. We'll get into details for you in a moment. A guest analyst will join us in a moment, but in the meantime, let's go straight to the cover pages. Vanguard is the very first this Friday. I know extent of task ahead won't fail Nigerians. That's according to Tinubu. There are multiple riders to this story, but we move from that. Chief Justice of Nigeria swears in 39 more judges to handle 2023 poll cases. Health workers begin indefinite strike. That's also on the cover page. Rate of killings worrisome. Southern Middle Belt leaders. That's also on the cover page of the Vanguard newspaper today. Some more stories reported by the Vanguard. The cover page: alleged culpable homicide. Others: Togowa has no case to answer. That's according to the Kano State government. And let's go to the top of the page. Interest rate: manufacturers kick against increases, list challenges. And to this one, as mentioned a few moments ago, Nigeria Air, domestic airlines move to stop takeoff today. All right. 48 million barrels alleged illegal sale of crude falls. Malami insists Nigeria can't be won by words of mouth alone, says Clark at 96. And federal government will award contracts borrow till May 28 midnight. That's according to Fashola. Yeah, just in case you didn't hear that clearly, right? The Minister of Works and Housing has said the federal government will award contracts and borrow till the midnight of the 28th day of May. That will be Sunday midnight. By the time it is Monday morning, there will be no border administration anymore, so they can't borrow, they can't award contracts. All right, so that's as regards that. If you know the Vanguard newspaper very well, then you're familiar with this column called Mr. and Mrs. All right, let's bring you what their conversation is. Usually they have this interesting conversation very quickly, just a light one. Mrs. is speaking first this morning. It says, you finished a big bowl of pounded yam just 2 hours ago and you are hungry again. That's frightening. More so, you described it as a delicate situation. And Mr. says, it's a delicate matter when I'm hungry, and delicacy is the only solution. Definitely. Yeah. Delicacy is the only solution. Only solution. All right, there you go. That's the cover page of the Vanguard newspaper for you. Okay, we have the sport news, sport headlines for that here. On the 20 World Cup, Bosso insists Brazil are beatable. Yeah, that Ladan Bosso is the coach of the under-20 flying Eagles. They've since qualified for the round of 16, but they play Brazil in their last group game. All right, that's the Vanguard for you today. Let's get to the Punch newspaper.
Yes, we wish the boys well, just in passing. Well, the Punch newspaper is punching this morning, and on the top headline we have May 29, Tinubu gets transition report, vows to tackle insecurity, power crisis. That's on page 2. Airline sues Sirika as Nigeria airplanes arrive today. That's on page 18. Court finds lawyer 40 million naira over anti-Tinubu inauguration suit. That's on page 13 of the Punch newspaper. You also have health workers begin indefinite strike. Federal government shuns demands. That's on page 26. On the top of the Punch newspaper this morning, you have reps insist on 2.4 billion naira oil sales probe grills Malami. That's on page 13. Who is Malami? That's the Minister of Justice, the AG and Minister of Justice. And you have a bold, that's a picture, bold picture of the President-elect. A felicitation picture from Tompolo felicitates Tinubu. Well, that's all we have on the Punch newspaper this morning.
Okay, we've got more headlines for you this beautiful Friday morning. Reported on the cover page of This Day, we have Buhari hands over transition documents to Tinubu, bestows on him GCFR Shetima GCON. That's the Grand Commander of the Federal Republic, and that's for the President, and Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger for the Vice President elect. Away from that, Buhari speaking again says National Assembly should be independent, decide own leadership. And below the page, you find Bawa fighting financial crimes, crucial national service. Details inside the paper. And the top of the page, NUPLC signed 7 regulations to push for accurate crude meeting, reduce gas flaring. Health workers commence indefinite strike nationwide over dispute with federal government. And that's what the cover page of the This Day newspaper looks like this Friday.
And on the Daily Sun newspaper this morning, this wet morning, it's a taboo to name second Niger bridge after Buhari, who is saying that IPOB rider suggests Ojukwu Ekweme as replacement. That's on page 8 of the Sun newspaper this morning. 4 days to hand over. Again, DSS alleges plot to disrupt Tinubu's inauguration. Page 4. One rider warns against comments publication that will cause violence. There's also another felicitation picture here from on This Day newspaper, and I think that's all from the This Day newspaper's front page.
Alrighty, we'll touch on a few more and then we get straight to analysis and then your take on the newspapers as well. 4 days to hand over again. Department of State Security Service alleges plots. That's for Daily Sun, already taken by Counsel Felix. Daily Trust is next. I have run a good race, finished my course. That's coming from President Buhari. Says my administration best in road infrastructure. Confess. Okay, we've mentioned this. It's a recurring rider. We'll just move from that. That's the conferment of the Grand Commander of the Federal Republic on the President-elect. Says Tinubu best for Nigeria. That's the President speaking there, by the way. And then the ex-Lagos Governor, that's the President-elect. Tinubu says I won't disappoint Nigerians. That's what the cover page of the Daily Trust looks like. Scanty headlines there. Just one headline right there. Then the Nation says also very scanty headlines. The cover page has this bold advertorial. Okay, Tinubu understand the magnitude of task ahead. That's what it says, and indeed some other recurring headlines. So we leave things there as regards the cover pages this morning. This is a new stand on the LFM Morning Show live on FM 103.9. It's time to get to analysis and indeed your reactions of these headlines. We go there next. Do stay tuned.
I will implore you, in addition to your course of study, whether you want to migrate, whether ASU is on strike, acquire 1 or 2 skills. Short skills that will always be relevant. Please, you never can know where you will need such a skill. I am Engineer Olaomi Gaspar, and you're listening to Law FM 103.9.
Hold on tight.
I'm Olufemi Pedro.
I'm Omoyele Showore.
My name is Honorable Akim Dixon.
This is Honorable Adekunle Akobada.
I'm Dele Momodu, and you are listening to Law FM 103.9 for knowledge and entertainment. Your only law radio station.
The passion To be creative, innovative, to climb higher and take the lead is what drives us on the station that inspires. This is Law FM 103.9 for knowledge and entertainment.
Thanks indeed for staying tuned. Let's get to analysis of top headlines in the news this morning. There's a breaking news, by the way, reported by the Daily Trust newspaper right now, and it says a flight belonging to Nigeria Air is about to embark on a journey to Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport in Abuja. According to a source, again as reported by Daily Trust, the flight is currently in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, getting set for the journey to Nigeria's capital city. Well, Daily Trust had reported, you recall, how the promise, and we just told you, about the promise that the national carrier would fly before the end of President Muhammadu Buhari's tenure, and how that had not been kept 4 days to the May 29 handover. Apparently, reacting to this report around that promise not being kept, Minister of Aviation Adi Sirika had said and insisted that Nigeria Air will fly before the tenure of President Buhari ends, and that happens in just 3 days from now. Well, it's the 26th. In 3 days, we're counting down. All right, let's introduce you to a guest analyst for the newsstand this morning. Tunji Abdulhammed, legal practitioner, is our guest. Good morning to you and welcome to the show.
Yeah, good morning. Good evening.
All right, good morning. I'm not sure the listener heard you right. Good morning again.
I greet our listeners especially.
Fantastic. I think that's clear. Let's begin with this breaking news. We hear, as promised, the Minister of Aviation had promised, Adesirika had promised that, yes, definitely would begin, operations of the national carrier before President Buhari hands over fully, is there fully there? Yeah, on May 29, just hands over to the President-elect, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We hear now, according to Daily Trust newspaper, which is breaking, by the way, that, a flight belonging to Nigeria Air is about to embark on the journey to Abuja, the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport in Abuja. What's your take on this one?
Kingsley, I will not deceive myself. There is no Nigeria here. What we have is not Ethiopian Nigeria here. Because if you look at the arrangements, Ethiopia even have a higher share in that airline than the Nigerians. So when you have 5% and somebody is having 45%, and you call it Nigeria, I call it Kingsley's business. You have just 5% in it, and you are calling to your business. Is that Nigeria here?
But I'm the one running the business, though.
What do you say?
It carries my name, going by the analogy I gave it, and I'm the one running the business. But
you are an employee. You are an employee. I can employ you to run my business for me. That does not make you the owner. So indirectly we try to help Ethiopia market their products in Nigeria, and we are calling Nigeria here. Okay, let's even agree that we have a Nigeria here today. And like I said, I will not be deceived. We spent over 50 billion to launch the logo. And after 8 years, we are having 2 days to the end of the season. We are having one flight coming to Nigeria, just one flight. Where is the administrative? Let me ask this question: where is the administrative of Nigeria here? Where ticketing and other things to be done? Who are the staffs? Where are they? These are not in place, and you expect me to believe that Nigeria is coming. Which Nigeria here? Let's give them a month, 2 or 3, and see whether we'll see have Nigeria here that will be flying. At that time, I will now say, okay, where we have Nigeria here.
So do you think this is being rushed just to fulfill the promise that was made by the Minister of Aviation?
Not only being rushed, I see that a defeat.
As a what?
Not only being rushed, defeat.
A deceit.
Just to say that we are defeat, DECI.
Yeah, a deceit. That's what you called it.
Yes, because after the May 29 or whatever, I doubt if there will be any Nigerian here any longer. How many flights are we expecting? How many flights are we expecting apart from this one that is coming today? And this one that is coming today, how long will it stay in Nigeria? How many operations will it be doing? Where is the administrative office? Who are the staffs? Who are those in charge? Who is the MD of Nigeria here? I can't be deceived to also accept somebody just hire a flight and bring it to Nigeria and say Nigeria here you come. I don't agree with that. How can you have 5% in a business and you call it your own? That can't be your own. You are at most in a partnership. That partnership, you are even a minor or minority owner in that partnership. So you can't call it your own. You can't be Nigeria here. Even if Ethiopians say that Ethiopian here, they are even correct because they have a 45% share in it. We don't do things by force. You don't have any achievement. You don't have any achievements. That means you don't plan. You do not plan. Anyway, surprised. Some of them are not knowledgeable in those areas before they put them there. Just like a Minister of Education just said he knew nothing about education before he became a Minister of Education. So when you put people who don't have idea of where they're going to work, then you can expect the result that will come out of it.
Okay, let's just very quickly get to some other stories we've seen on the cover pages this morning. Beg your pardon, right? Okay, so let's begin with this one. It's all across the cover pages today. You find the picture of the president-elect, and that investiture which happened yesterday has been conferred. As Abdulhammed Tinubu has been conferred with one of the Grand Commander of the Federal Republic, alongside the Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima, who was honored with the Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger. Let's get your thoughts on this. He said that he's aware of the task before him, and the President also said, that's President Muhammadu Buhari has said, also that he's fought a good fight, and it's time for him to go.
Yeah, at least it's good. Mr. President-elect is confirming that he's aware of the task. He's aware of the problem on ground. He's aware of everything. I don't expect Mr. President-elect to come into power and start complaining and telling us what they met on ground or what they did not expect when they came into power. I don't want a repeat of what happened in the regime of
I'm sorry, Tunji. Can you please hold your thought? Let's quickly pay the bills and we'll be back.
Extra confidence to light up the room. That's why I'm deliberate about how I nourish my skin. I use a soap made with the right natural ingredients. A soap? Which one? A soap that contains shea butter and aloe vera, turmeric and honey for a glowing skin.
Experience the new Joy Black Soap, made with over 7 natural ingredients that moisturize, restore and repair your skin, giving you the confidence to be who you love to be. Joy, beauty my way.
Hold on tight.
I'm Olufemi Pedro.
I'm Omoyele Showore.
My name is Honorable Hakeem Dixon.
This is Honorable Adekunle Akobada.
I'm Dele Momodu, and you are listening to Law FM 103.9 for knowledge and entertainment. Your only law radio station.
Alrighty, needed to pay the bills. We're back. Thank you for staying tuned. It's time to get talking some more. Tunji Abdulhammed Esquire is a guest this morning. He's been talking to us about the handover ceremony which started yesterday with the investiture of honors, one to the president-elect and then the vice president-elect. Tunji, thank you for staying tuned.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so you were saying that the president-elect would have no excuses since he's quite aware of the task before him.
Yes, since if he's confirming that he is aware of the task before him, he shows that he's telling us that he is aware of the problem we have, the insecurity problem, the economic problem, and the social sentiment problem, the ethnic and religious crisis. He's aware of all our problems, and that's what he's saying. So if you are aware of the problem, I don't expect you to come in and start complaining or start saying that you don't know you're as big as this. I think the president-elect should, having realized the task ahead, is enormous. That will help him in taking a bold step in coming to in doing the right thing. So I expect him to come into power and start in good note. I thank God there is a law now which says that you must appoint minister within 6 months or so. Unlike sorry, is it 6 weeks or 6 months?
60 days.
60 days. Thank you very much. Unlike before during the 2015 when we spent over 15 years, 50 after 6 months, to look for those who will be our ministers, and at the end of the day, the same set of people that we've known before are still appointed as a minister. So it's good for him. Let him hit the ground running, and I expect to see a difference between this. Definitely, there will be. It won't be the same thing like that of President Muhammadu Buhari. I am not satisfied with the performance of President Muhammadu Buhari. I'm not satisfied at all, and I don't expect Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu to follow that pattern. Otherwise, it will be shut for us. So right. I think yesterday they started the inauguration, and it was conferred with the highest honor on the land. While the first president-elect was conferred with the second highest honor in the land. It's good for us. We are preparing for the inauguration.
All right. All right. On the Punch newspaper this morning, we have a very disturbing headline. I don't know if this headline disturbs you. Health workers begin indefinite strike. Federal government shuns demand. What are their demands? The health workers are saying they demand immediate approval and implementation of the technical committee report on CONHAS adjustment by the federal government, immediate payment of the omission and shortfall in the COVID-19 hazard inducement allowances of affected health workers in the federal health institution, and recognition of support health workers in hospital facilities in the payment of new hazard allowance payment and inculcation of peculiar allowances to health workers under the ages of GWESU and AHPA. I mean, what do you make of this news?
Well, every Nigerian that does the interest of the country at heart should be worried and should be disturbed. It's unfortunate that we are having this kind of situation. We have, it appears, we have people in government who don't care about the welfare of the people, of the masses.
Why do you say so?
They only care about themselves. I'm coming. They only care about themselves. Have you had any political appointee complaining about his allowance and the payments that is not being paid or is being delayed? None. And they are not taking 30,000 naira minimum wage just like the other people are taking. They are taking millions, and these millions are being paid as at Wednesday. So if I say I won't be wrong to say that look, they don't take the welfare and of other people seriously like the political appointees. I think it's unfortunate that government is not about self-service. Government is about serving people. You are in power to serve people, not yourself, not to make yourself comfortable, not to even increase your profile. But what we see today is that we see people in government who are only concerned about their own welfare, about their own life, and they justified everything. So, in fact, those National Assembly, their surveillance package are already being worked out. The president, his own is being worked out. The governors who are taking Omungo's what they call pension, are being worked out. And you won't hear any complaint of it's not been paid or it's not going to be paid or these are not available. And you expect those who are taking meager amounts and who are not being paid to keep quiet and not do anything. And tomorrow people will come out and say and accuse them of why going on strike. They don't care about the life of the people. When we are supposed to, all of us supposed to work on the government or even prevail on the government to ensure that these people's demands are met. We will continue to blame them and say why do they go on strike. It's unfortunate that we are having this kind of situation. We have people in government who don't care about the masses. They don't know. Some of them don't even know the purpose why they are in government. They believe what they are in government to just do what is doable, not what they are expected to do. That's what that's. So some people don't know their responsibility. Some know their responsibility. They don't know the extent of it. They only know that look, I am the minister and I'm in charge here. Whether it is right or not, I am here. So they don't care about what happened to other people in the country. It's worrisome.
Yes, and another information which is very important, which we must note, is that this strike is not a warning strike. This strike is an indefinite strike. Well, we'll leave it at that.
There are a lot of warning strike. that has been ignored by the by government. This is not today. This is not starting today. This has been on. It's been recurring. See, as since 2009 up to date, agreement was signed by the government. It was not implemented. These health workers, so many agreements have been signed, or memo has been signed with them. Nothing is implemented. No government and government will be there. They are only after political gain. They are only, in fact, as it is today, I'm telling you, they are already planning about 2027. In fact, most of the appointment that will be done will be based on 2027 calculation.
Yeah,
that is all about capturing power. It's all about government, political appointment. It's all about winning election. That's what we have. Those who have in government, that's their duty. They don't see their duty as secure provision of welfare for the people. They don't see payment of salary and making people comfortable as ensuring that their welfare has been taken care of.
Just to mention the authorities at JOESU, that's the joint body of medical practitioners in Nigeria, did say that there was, a time frame given to the government, I think between May 10, and that expired yesterday night, midnight yesterday, and then there was no response, and so they directed their members to go on indefinite strike. Let's talk about Kano State, or go to Kano State, where the Kano State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Musa Abdullahi Lawan, yesterday absolved the majority leader of the House of Representatives, Hassan Adogdoguwa, of an alleged murder crime. Right. Abdullahi Lawan, briefing newsmen in Kano, said that based on the foregoing facts and observations, the ministry could not substantiate charges of criminal conspiracy, mischief by fire, and culpable homicide against Doguwa. The Attorney General of the state further said that the statements of those that implicated Doguwa were full of contradictions and could not find medical evidence to prove the death of the victims. A lot of persons are saying, well, this is a form of cover-up and the rest, but when you're lying, some, we don't know exactly, some of the facts that they have. But what's your take on this? Because this is someone who at some point said he was going to run for the seat of the Speaker of the House of Reps.
Yes, you see, let me say this. Legally, if an allegation is made against a person, and there is no finding regarding linking to that offense, the proper thing to do is to leave that person and discharge him. And when you get further information or evidence, you can bring him back. That is the difference between discharging and acquitted. If you are discharged, it means you can be brought back. You can be charged again. But if you are acquitted, if you are discharged and acquitted, that means that is the end of that case. So there is nothing bad in doing that. But the question is, how many people who are not political exposed person that are in similar situations that his case have been thrown out, or that the minister of the Commissioner for Justice has gone to court to say we have no evidence against him, please just leave him. Here we are in this country where people will just be taken away from the road just because they are wandering, they are moving from one place to another, and they can be there for 9 years or 7 months or whatever, and the Commissioner of Justice will not see that. You see, and then when you align with the party's position, this is what you get, and that's why we're not going in this country. We do things with sentiments. This man was a few months ago against the party's APC, the anointed speaker or candidate. But a few days ago, he aligned them with the party, and the second day, we are hearing that he has been the case against him has been dropped. So that is why sometimes most people, when people are alleged of any crime or whatever, they talk about witch hunting. This is the reason, one of the reasons why it's like that. Because once you have an issue with your party or people in authority, that's when they will realize that you have done something before that is bad, and that's when they will remember that you are supposed to be taken to court. Once you are aligned, the case will be dropped or something else will happen. And so it's unfortunate we can't grow in that manner. Nobody is above the law, and everybody must be treated equally. If you can apply this, I appreciate it. If there is no evidence against Adogdoguwa, there is no need wasting our time or wasting the time of the court in taking him to court. But what I'm appealing is that, look, other people who are not Adogdoguwa, who are not politically exposed, should enjoy the same benefits. If you have this kind of a thing that they're doing, our prison will not be congested. Some of the people in prison today, I tell you, they don't have business being there. They don't have business being there. Because some of them don't know anybody. Some of them are just there by circumstance. They will just be there. Some of them are even forgotten by the government in custody. They've been there and they will not be taken to court, and they just be there. And you take them to court, and they will take application to court, and the court will be telling you there's a criminal case against them. They need to hold on. This and that. You see, we complain about congestion, then we don't do the right thing to make it there to discongest the prison. The kind of treatment given to Adotogoa should be extended to other people who are not Adotogoa.
Alright, the State Attorney General also noted that the pistol and 30 rounds of live ammunition were recovered from the second and third suspects who were aides to Dogua, adding that the investigation reveals that the ammunition given to them by ballistic state was found intact. He also said some of the witnesses said Dogua carried a Dane gun, while some said it was a pistol. No bullet. This reminds me of super cases. No bullet shell was recovered at the scene. Only one knife, cutlass, and charm, he said. So that's that. We need to begin to wrap the newsstands and get into the discourse for the hot topic for the morning. We'll be reviewing the president's achievement. That's President Buhari's achievement for the past 8 years. But before we do that, Tunji Abdulhammed, would like you to respond to this. Nigeria's Federal Executive Council, that was on Wednesday, approved a memo from the National Identity Management Commission, what we popularly call NIMC, allowing banks to print debit cards that double as national identity cards. I know that a lot of citizens have spoken about harmonizing data, and also the fact that we can just carry one card which will serve as your bank card, your credit card, and then also serve as your national identity card. All right, and with this approval from the Federal Executive Council, who sat, by the way, for the last time for the Buhari administration, citizens can now request their commercial banks and debit card, which doubles as their national identity card at no additional cost than the normal fees charged for debit cards. Yes. So, what do you think about this?
Yeah, it's a good move and a good thing to do. I think we should be moving forward rather than drawing ourselves back. There's nothing bad in that if we do that. If we are able to do that, I don't see why we should not be able to do e-voting. We should be thinking forward and thinking in this manner. I know some of the secondary schools that this is being done there. Their school ID card is as well as their debit card in school. If they want to buy anything, that's what they use. My daughter, that's what they use in their school. The ID card is their debit card. Whenever they want to buy anything, that's what they use. I don't know how they do it. So I think we should be moving that line. It will reduce a kind of why you carry so much, so many ID cards in your hand, and then there'll be so many different. If you have your ID card and as your ATM card or whatever, you take care of it very, very well, and then it will be safe in your custody. I think to me it's a good move.
All right. There's another important story that I feel it's also important we get to know. Tobacco kills 8 million people yearly. WHO tells government to stop subsidizing plant farming. And the story goes on to say that we all know, for information out there, is that 31st of this month is World Tobacco Day. On World No Tobacco Day, that's World No Tobacco Day, the World Health Organization says tobacco is responsible for 8 million deaths a year, and all that government should stop subsidizing tobacco farming but support more sustainable crops that could feed millions. I mean, what do you make of this news, Mr. Tunji?
For me, I don't know why tobacco has not been banned or has not been classified in the same category with cocaine and other drugs. Because you see, when you even buy tobacco, they tell you smokers are liable to die young. So which means they are telling you that you drinking it, you are drinking your debt. Smoking it, you are smoking your debt. Your debt. So if that is dangerous, if that is dangerous, I'm not taking cocaine. I don't know. I'm not aware that cocaine even is in that manner. So if you say tobacco smokers are liable to die young, why are we allowing people smoking it again? Why can't we put it in that corner where it will be a part of those banned items that cannot be done? So why are we encouraging it? I don't know the essence. I don't know this is why it's being allowed. So I think not even about this of subsidizing. To me, I think we should eradicate it. We should even put it in the same class cocaine and the other dangerous drugs.
Well, they tell you they pay tax. I mean, they pay tax, they employ people, they are creating employment for a lot of people and all that. That's like a defense they put up.
If you legalize cocaine business or whatever, too, they will also pay tax. And they will also create business, a job.
Alrighty.
So that's not an excuse.
Okay, that's much we can take on the newsstand today. We'll switch gears now to the discourse. So Tunji Abdulhammed is still very much there. He'll be joined by two. We Kevin is indulgence to still stay there. Yeah. We'll be joined by two other guests who will be talking to us about President Buhari's administration and the successes recorded, whether or not we've improved as a country. We'll talk about that, so stay tuned.
We take your business from where it is to where it should be.
You are listening to Law FM 103.9. Don't touch that dial.
Finest babe. How do you do it?
My skin gives me the extra confidence to light up the room. That's why I'm deliberate about how I nourish my skin. I use a soap made with the right natural ingredients.
A soap? Which one?
A soap that contains shea butter and aloe vera, turmeric and honey for a glowing skin.
Experience the new Joy Black Soap, made with over 7 natural ingredients that moisturize, restore, and repair your skin, giving you the confidence to be who you love to be. Joy, beauty my way.
When you listen to this station, you learn about your rights. You discover the law in ways you never imagined. You know why? Because we broadcast in your interest.
It's a problem that we are all experiencing in the country. You know, different parts of the country, the same thing is happening. So who do we call on to? Who do we hold responsible?
We impact knowledge.
If the grid is unable to shed the load that it ought to, it could also result in the collapse of the national grid.
Call it what you may, but we are here to stay. The law was never biased, so why should it be now? To every individual, we are Law FM 103.9.
There are no internal electricity poles.
Strap yourself in, because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go on Law FM 103.9. Where we play your music your way all day, every day on Law FM.
On Law FM
103.9. Connect to your dial, rich with knowledge and entertainment. 103.9 Law FM. This is Law FM 103.9.
Make we yarn, make we talk,
let's talk,
make we jolly, make we get fun on 103.9
103.9
Law FM Lagos.
Your station for knowledge and entertainment.
They say that knowledge is power. But here, knowledge of the law and your rights is true power.
So you see that from recent happenings, we've seen that people have started, to fight for their rights.
Law FM 103.9, the station for knowledge and entertainment, your only law radio station, the country's premier law radio station. But that way do we brag about this, because there is nothing compared to what